What? Jaire Alexander, the first game of the year when the Vikings won their only game of the year by more than one score. Justin Jefferson was a fluke? How do you call that a fluke? Justin Jefferson has been fluking all year long, if that's the case. I just don't know. And we see that every once in a while, Peter. And, Justin Jefferson will say it doesn't mean anything. And it's not like, how much better can he play? But why would you agitate a guy who, even when he's
Why would
mellow,
you poke the bear?
Will of all the bears in the NFL, a guy who's a legitimate MVP candidate who is threatening Calvin Johnson's single-season receiving yardage record, why would you poke that bear?
Hey, look, I just looked it up. He's had 10 100-yard games. He's made the catch of the century in Buffalo. He's made plays to help win impossible games, like against the Colts and against the Bills. And he's played his best when the best has been required. That was not a fluky game in the first game of the season. And I sincerely doubt, and again, I don't know what the weather is in Green Bay on Sunday, but I sincerely doubt that this is going to be the kind of game that Justin Jefferson gets shut down. Because look, Mike, he's been held under 50 yards 4 times this year in 15 games. So, unless KJ Osborne has a 300-yard day on Sunday, Justin Jefferson's going to play a big role in this game.
Kickoff temperature mid-30s, no precipitation, and I don't see what the wind is. But wait, let's check out the wind. The wind will be under 10 miles an hour, so weather should not be a factor in that Vikings-Packers game. Packers need the win to stay alive for the 7th seed. Vikings need to continue to fend off the 49ers for the 2 seed and also keep their very slim hopes alive for the number 1 seed. They'll know by kickoff, though, whether or not the Eagles have finally clinched the 1 seed. But even then, Peter, this team does not want to go to Levi's Stadium to play the 49ers in the divisional round. I was there 3 years ago, and I think the 49ers are actually better top to bottom now than they were then, and the Vikings just stepped into a buzzsaw. And not that I'd feel good about the Vikings playing the 49ers at home, but at least you get Brock Purdy inside U.S. Bank Stadium, and maybe you can rattle him just enough to maybe make a difference. But it's critical that the Vikings win this game and stay ahead of the 49ers. So even though the Vikings have the division title won and we're going to see them in the postseason, this game means a lot to both teams. And I think Jaire Alexander made a mistake stirring up Justin Jefferson because he went off the first time around, and now he's going to feel compelled to go off again to prove that it wasn't a fluke. It's that simple.
I think the other thing about this game that is really interesting is that, look, let's be honest, the Packers were kind of handed one in the fourth quarter last week. And, hey, everybody gets handed one in the course of a season. Everybody wins a game or two that looks like they shouldn't have won and loses a game or two that looks like they shouldn't have lost. But that's just the way football is. So nobody's apologizing. You're just simply stating a fact. Green Bay caught a break with the final 3 Miami possessions ending in awful interceptions last week. So I think the one thing I would say about where the Packers are right now, and again, this is probably impacted a bit by the fact that we don't know if Christian Watson is going to be healthy in this game, whether he's even going to play in this game. But I do think what you saw last week, Mike, you saw how comfortable Aaron Rodgers is now throwing to Aaron Lazard, Aaron Dobbs, and Christian Watson. So the longer he gets to play with these guys, the more comfortable he's going to be. You make a great point, okay, in that I don't think anybody wants to be the 7th seed and have to go to San Francisco. I get that. And I think San Francisco is going to make a marauding run in the playoffs. However, I think Green Bay's got a heck of a better chance of giving San Francisco a game on Wild Card Weekend than Washington does. So, we'll see what happens.
Hey, I agree with you completely, and I've been saying this all year, and even before the season. The Packers, to me, are more dangerous as a 7 seed than as a 1 seed, because as a 1 seed, they're tight and they're nervous, and we have too much to lose. They get in as a 7 seed. They won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers at quarterback 12 years ago as a 6 seed. You just let it go fly, and you don't care about anything, and you don't worry about anything, and the next thing you know, you're beating the teams that are tight and nervous and have things to lose.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.